There's been a lot of talk in China recently about the need for political reform to reconnect the party to the people, a feeling that perhaps through corruption, perhaps through inequality, that the party and the people have become separated, a bit divorced from each other, and there's a real political reform agenda taking shape. How to give people more of a voice in the political process, how to deal with corruption, and these are very important things, but for me I think it misses one of the bigger political reforms that is absolutely essential, and that's not something that's overtly political. It's actually something that appears to be overtly economic and very technical, and that's challenges that emerge from the financial system in China. The way that China responded to the financial crisis in 2008-2009 was to pump huge amounts of money into the economy, and they did this primarily through expanding bank loans. Now, local governments in China aren't formally allowed to borrow from the banks, but what they did was establish their own investment companies that then borrowed from the banks and invested in projects, often infrastructure projects. There was an astonishing amount of liquidity, 9.6 trillion renminbi of new loans in the banking system in 2009. To give a bit of context, that was double the previous year. The problem now is that these debts are coming due for repayment, and many local governments simply can't repay, and many of their companies simply can't repay as well. So we have in the short term this problem of potential bad debts. At the same time, we've got bubbles emerging in large parts of the economy. People are banking on the price of land going up. We've got a whole range of new wealth management products being offered by the banks. These allow people to, rather than put their money into the banks and get very low return on their deposits, they can invest in often riskier projects. And there's a great concern that many of these will become unsustainable in the long run and lead to investment crashes. For the time being, most of the problems are contained within the Chinese economy, and most people are banking on the state to solve the problems if they emerge. In the 1990s, China's banks were effectively bankrupt. They were illiquid. Massive non-performing loans. And the central government stepped in and refinanced the bank. It took the debts off them, put them into the hands of asset management companies. It gave them extra liquidity. Just before they floated on the stock market, it gave them extra liquidity as well, so they looked more attractive and they raised lots of money. And people are still banking on the fact that the state will do that again if a problem occurs this year, next year, along the line. For the international community, I think there are two main considerations. The first is all these assumptions about the long-term nature of Chinese growth and China's inevitable rise to some sort of economic superpower status. I think we have to put serious question marks against them. A crisis probably will be averted by the state stepping in again, but I don't think we can assume that this long-term pattern of growth is sustainable. In fact, people in China have been arguing this for many years. The second thing is there does seem to be money in China that wants to get out. The people are now looking to bank on external economies rather than Chinese economy, and it could well have a consequence on the amount of money that is trying to get out of China and into different international economies.